Morning, guys. So this is going to be addressing the question a lot of y'all have asked me about playing with that gradient and doing it on different shapes and forms. Right here, you'll see the skeleton, or not even the skeleton, you'll see the entire code we use for that optical illusion. So this incrementally changes the points on our line, which lets it give us the illusion of that nice smooth curve, even though it's only drawn with straight lines. Changing the color was part of the assignment. Just about everybody's got it in already, so I don't feel too bad about messing with the answer. Okay. And every color, as we know, is made up of three parts: the red component, the green component, and the blue component. And the way I like to do a gradient is as decimals, but you don't have to. So let's start here. This 0. Call this one 255. And then it's 0 here. All right, so this is going to be straight blue. We'll start there. And then just like changing the lines, we want to change the color incrementally. So just by a little bit every time. So we've got 600 divided by 20, so that's 30 different iterations. So whatever I go up or down by, I have 30 options. We're bound by the rules of the color spectrum, though. So you have to stay between 0 and 255. If you go over or under those extremes, it doesn't draw anything because the color doesn't exist. So let's keep it simple. Let's go R plus equal 30 times. We've got 255 to play with. Let's just call it 7. And just so that we get a little more transition, let's subtract that much from green. Okay, so every time this cycle loops, it's going to add 7 to R and subtract 7 from G. Okay, so starting all the way at 100% green, this should move to the red. And it does. Okay, you can see all the transition values, stuff like there. Obviously, we don't go all the way to 255. You can barely say that that's pure red, but we're close. Okay, now that is the basics for every single way we do it. But let's say we needed to do it more than 30 times. What if we wanted to make it like the solid example we did, where we have all 600 lines drawn? Well, in that case, we can't even go up by 1 for integers. So this is the way I tend to do it, because we rarely ever get precise integer amounts that we need. So I change them to doubles. Okay, and let's manipulate it just a little bit so we got some extra colors going. All right, now we get an error here: incompatible types, possible lossy information, double the int. The set pen color can only use integer values, but I want doubles. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to use our old friend, the cast. Okay, and we cast each of our elements as an integer. It doesn't change the value, it just changes how the computer reads the value. So even if I go up just a little bit, fractions of a solid value, it'll round it for the answer, but it'll keep the actual value every time, so I can still increment the right way. Okay, so right here, I'm going to have 600 lines. How much can I go up by? Well, not a lot, to be honest. Let's go that. Yeah, we'll do all 3 this time. Okay, and G. Okay, now rather than 7, I need to figure out what that decimal value is. I need to draw 600 lines, but I only have 256 values to go up on. So what do? Do I need to solve this decimal? No, I can, but advertising working smarter. Let Java do the math. So I have 256 values to play with, and I have to do it 600 times. Now, the only problem with this is integer math. int divided by an int is an int, and so this will always be 0, okay? So what I have to do is I have to make sure at least one of them is a double so that it gives me that decimal answer. And what I do is I just replicate that 3 times. So now I'm not only going to get a solid color because I'm drawing 600 lines, but it's going to transition as well. So it's going to look like just a swipe of color. Oops, hang on. Oh, I reset those values. Okay, so this one is going down as well. Green is going down, blue is going up. Okay. Okay. So we've got yellow to blue. And because of the way they overlay the colors, you can see that it does blend the entire way. I wanted to do half that. Half of 256 is 128. Okay, so this time it'll go halfway through the colors. So I'll get a similar transition from yellow, but it won't go all the way into the blue. Yeah, so you can see it just turning into. Okay, now those are the extremes up here. You don't have to keep them so specific. I could go to, let's see, or no, yeah, Palatine. So this is one of the references I gave you. Let's say I wanted to choose my colors. Okay, let's go a real nice purple. Okay, I like that one. So 42, 2, and 56. Okay. 42, 2, and 56. Okay. And then let's go complementary. That would be yellow. I've done yellow a couple of times. So let's grab an orange. Yeah, that tangerine orange ought to be good. 255, 117, 15. Okay, so that's where I'm going. 255, 117, 55. Make sure. 117, 15. Okay, good. So this is my purple. This is my orange. Now I just need to transition between them. I still got 600, which I'm not even going to do that. We're going to go plus equal, we'll go 5. Okay, so that's still going to be 120 lines. I've still got a little bit of wiggle room to play with, but this time I've got very specific values I'm traveling between. Not a problem. Again, I don't have to do the math. I just have to set it up to let Java. Still going to divide, actually in this case, because it's 5, I can go 120. Okay, so I've got 120 different possible values. And then up here, all I need to do is do a little bit of subtraction. Okay, so this is 255 minus 42, and that can be an integer. Up here, where I'm going, I've got 117 starting from 2. Okay, and down here, I've got 55 minus 56. Okay. Java finds the difference between those, divides it by the number of lines I'm going to create, and so it will come up with the transition to make those color values. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Okay, so R is going up this time. G goes from 2 to 117. It is also going up. B is going 56. So this one's actually going down. Okay. Yeah, you do have to pay attention to your order. Okay. All right, 5. That's 1, 2. Yeah, it's still 120 lines. Why is this not working? Fine, let's put it back to 600. There we go. Yeah. There's a little bit of transition. You can see it's slightly getting lighter. Maybe I picked numbers too close together. I know it's probably the 600. That's probably it. It's changing too slowly. So even though I know it's 120 lines, it's not allowing 120. Okay, moving towards the brighter spectrum. And not sure why it's going over though. Okay, so it's exceeding blue. But blue's going down. Actually, let's just leave blue alone since it's one color difference. Okay. Purple or red, or maroon to burgundy to maroon, kind of a thing. I'm not sure exactly why. I think this has got to be the issue, but yeah, okay, so now we're inching in closer to the orange. Okay, let me put it back to 120. Maybe just the blue formula is throwing me. Yeah, there it goes. So yeah, hey, Mr. Gerald from the future here, just saying I figured out what was going on. So I had accidentally mixed up G and B and the plus and minus. So this way is how it was supposed to be. I had the values mixed up. So blue was going beyond 125. But now you can see a clearer transition between the two colors. So we got purple all the way over here blending to that orange. Thank you. That's how that works. And you can apply this to any shapes you want, any construction, as long as you can write it in a loop that slightly changes incrementally. These work. You could do horizontal lines, vertical lines, these curves. You could do circles to give it look like a real sphere with shading. You could do boxes, ever increasing in size. One way we figured out how to do a sector, the slice of a pie like a pie chart, you could do ever increasing radius of a sector drawing. And so I've got a few other examples. I'm just going to let it run in the background. These are really up to you. You can play around with these. You can get these to adjust, to design whatever need you want to, make whatever patterns. But this is an easy, quick little way to do a gradient. And so I hope y'all enjoy, and best of luck finishing your projects. Have a good one.